Yes, Sirski, your boy Cage tapping in for the AM on this lovely Friday. Just want to hop in here and do a quick charting up session on what I was looking at for the next week. Specifically NVDA, Tesla, SPY, and QQQ. Some of those levels, NVIDIA and Tesla have been moving very good, which has had the NASDAQ on smash. And then also as well, a few good acquisitions into the NASDAQ and a few good acquisitions into the Dow. It's got the market looking pretty good. So I just want to go over a few of these levels in which I am waiting for. We do have NVIDIA earnings on the 20th of this month. Last NVIDIA earnings was last days ago. It was mediocre. It beat earnings, but it did not go anywhere but down. So I am assuming, and I'm going to anticipate that the earnings actually play the right direction and actually rocket up to the sky for NVIDIA earnings. But this is exactly what I'm looking at. I do like to see this consolidation on a daily coming into that earnings level. I do want to see us kind of chop around and then come sweep some of this sell side liquidity out before we continue to go into earnings. So I do want to see this sell side liquidity swept here. Do want to see that candle swept there, and then possibly come get some of this gap in. But if we do sweep this, which will give us our manipulation candle, if we get the manipulation candle, then we're golden. Nvidia's at all-time highs right now. So once we get the manipulation candle to the downside, because I am very bullish on this earnings, like I've always been, just last earnings was mediocre. We should get that push back above 150. Once we get above 150, we are golden. I mean, Nvidia's got so much room to run, and everybody knows exactly what Nvidia can do when it actually runs. So that is pretty much all I'm waiting for when it comes to Nvidia. I think that's when always does this shit. I hate that. That's pretty much all I'm looking for when it comes to Nvidia. We already cleared this out. That was my 140 level. Then down here we had the 120s, in which we cleared out as well. So these are all previous levels Nvidia has abided by and worked its way through to give me that confirmation. So definitely, if we come through and we sweep this daily down here, which is just some buyers holding in. I like for us to sweep buyers and sellers out and then leave the play of field neutral and then continue up. So I'm looking for below what is that? 143.70. So that's about a 3-point move as well within the ATR of Nvidia, which is the average true range, which is the amount of money and dollar price these stocks move daily. If a stock only moves $1 a day, then you shouldn't be targeting a $7 move. So that's based on how NVIDIA moves. So that is all I'm waiting for NVIDIA. It's nothing major. It's kind of let it clear the levels out and then load up for fucking earnings after market. Like that's how I would play NVIDIA. Now Tesla's a little different. Tesla's a little more technical. NVIDIA's gonna do what NVIDIA's gonna do regardless. But Tesla, a lot more technical. As you see here, we made that 358.64 high on Tesla up there. Now the tricky thing about that is that Tesla always has a huge rebound. Tesla always does. Like look at these gaps on the daily. Gap down, gap up. You know what I mean? Stagnant, bear, you could say a bull flag, gap up, and then another pretty much, kind of filling in its imbalance. Tesla is really good with filling in that imbalance and getting in those and kind of rebalance that and getting near that equilibrium and balancing itself out. It's really good with that. What I have for Tesla on the daily, below 300, I don't see it staying below 300 for a long time at all. I think soon as we fall below 300, buyers will come in and buy that shit the fuck up. Just kind of like how they're curling it up here. So this is 302. This is 302. Pretty much. Let's see. Get the exact number. This is 302.70. So I was right. 302.70 was the low for Tesla right now during the week. And I can see us actually curling up. We came to test some of this. We filled in this gap. We came to testing some of this equilibrium here. Because how I know that's some equilibrium and it's some imbalance. Look at the weekly. So the weekly is all this imbalance right here. This is all this imbalance right here on Tesla. Imbalance is when there's just one straight direction movement, no opposite movement. So there isn't any balance when it comes to the buyers and sellers. So right here is what I would use for that imbalance level. And that level is very particular with that 300 level. So I do have us tapping in back into that imbalance. So the imbalance in the $300 level. So I'm sorry. So the imbalance on the weekly, along with the $300 level, is perfect. The $300 level is within that weekly imbalance that we need to tap back into. and then we'll make that movement back out of there. I do not see Tesla dropping back down to where it was. I don't think the market is gonna let it get back down there. It's very, very, very strong right now with the election as well too. So I do got Tesla 300 buy here, and if we happen to fall below 300, it's just a little baby dip. They're gonna buy that shit the fuck up. This box right here, we fall below that box, Tesla is definitely going to rocket back to 500. But that's my analysis for Tesla too. I'm definitely bullish on Tesla. I'm going to use NVIDIA's earnings to boost the Nasdaq. Then I'm going to use NVIDIA's earnings with the Nasdaq boosted to boost up Tesla. Or NVIDIA and Tesla may work together just to boost the shit out of the Nasdaq like they've been doing. The S&P 500 hasn't been lagging either. I just preferably trade the Nasdaq. I like how volatile it definitely is. So on this hourly here, we filled that gap in. We're in this level. 300 is it's within this level here. This nice consolidation level here is that 300 level. So we'd have to break through that and have some fucking major downside movement to invalidate that. So some levels that I would look for Tesla is that bounce off of 300 and then back above 311. Once we get it back above that 311, which is this box, then we'll probably make our way to the highs. But my overall target for Tesla, like everyone else is saying, is about $500. It's definitely going to go way higher than that. So let's check out some QQQ. All right, let's check out QQQ. Alright, so QQQ on the daily, I do like this daily setup on the QQQ as well too. We also made highs at a 515. A lot of these stocks are making highs, so they're not going to be exhausted, but they're going to be due for a pullback. So that's why you're seeing a lot of these red candles back to back to back. A lot of these stocks are due for a pullback. We had a huge gap there, another gap there, another, like a 3 days of straight gaps. So the market does have to fill that in eventually. Do I know when? Absolutely not. But I do know eventually it's going to have some type of rebalancing so it can get back on track. So right here on the daily, what I'm looking for, QQQ had these nice gaps up, gap. This right here, this level of 502.05 all the way over to these wicks here. I got this level from the 4 hourly. See. Boom. I like this level 44 hourly. If they let me move it over so I can show you the left side, which is where I got that particular level from. I like these candles. Rejection here, rejection, came in, rejected, came in, rejected, came in, rejected, came down here, stagnant, came in, bounced down, sellers tried to hold us down, buyers said hell nah, I like this level. So I'm using this same level that the market previously has showed me as support slash resistance and kind of a supply and demand level to see how the market wants to react. Now this is a 4-hour time frame, so it does require a bigger move. You may be waiting on that move. But if you want to play intermediate within that range, what you would do is wait for a sweep of liquidity down here on the hourly, then look to see what type of movement the market makes. If it has a sweep and it leaves a candle wick, then you're probably getting that draw on liquidity. If it has a candle sweep and a close, you're probably getting that flush through the level and not a reversal out of that level. And how you know which one is which one? You don't. You have to be on the charts and you have to monitor it and watch it. But I made my money off of NQ last night. I'm up about 989 on the day. No, about $900 on the day on NQ. So I'm not on here to give you setups. I'm not on here to tell you my entries because I don't know my entries until the market's actually running in motion. But I can give you some levels in which I'm ready for this level. Either we bounce or we flush through. We flush through with a close. I'm looking for some more down movement to clear out some of these lower levels to continue for next week. I'm playing all these moves based off of NVIDIA earnings upcoming. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm telling you, trust me. My mentor put me on NVIDIA a minute ago. And even though I couldn't afford to trade it, I actively demo traded it and I paper traded it, and I feel like I got the movements on Smash when it comes to NVIDIA, bro. Like it does what it's supposed to do. It just happened to fucking flake last time. Alright, so let's move over to SPY. SPY is a lot more structured set up than QQQ. QQQ is more volatile. So SPY has those movements where it may move some days really big and it may move some days very, very stagnant, right? But very important, this gap fill down here. I could see SPY having a gap fill down here, being that we kind of just left it open. QQQ is more so of a wiki, so QQQ can wick down into this gap and technically cover it. But what I see for SPY is I see us testing this 585 level. That is 593 currently right now. I do see us testing this 585 level, not within a day, but within over a few days, maybe overnight. I mean, get to next week before the earnings on the 20th, just so we can recalibrate and get back to that equilibrium here. A lot of these stocks are overextended because of the election, so they are running, which is not a bad thing. It's a very good thing. But on the hourly here, this is my key level. We came down. This was at 9 a.m. We held, and never came back and touched this level again. So I'm using this key level as a rejection, or I'm using it as a flush level too, right? If we tend to flush through that level, what is my next anticipated target? I don't know until the market tells me. I really don't know. The market may want to just test it out and flush it. See, a lot of people get confused on having these exact numbers. How the fuck do I know if the market's coming to 58537? I don't until it starts doing it. So therefore, if you set these limits and you set these orders and you waiting for you to get ticked in, and you're gonna be that person that's always saying you get stopped out, or you're always gonna be that person that say, "Hey, I missed my entry by a tick. I missed my setup by 2 points. Oh, I got out too early." That's because you're looking for the specifics too much, rather than letting the market show you what the hell it wants to do. SPY is showing me it's bullish, but it's also showing me it wants a pullback. Does that mean I'm gonna sell it? No. Does that mean I'm gonna buy it? No. That means I'm gonna keep dropping down until lower and lower and lower time frames to let the market tell me what it wants to do. And not every time frame it's looking the same. Like it's in an intermediate pullback. So that's telling me I have to be even more patient and let the market pick its direction. Being that it's Friday, being that we chopped around yesterday and we chopped around a little bit Wednesday with news, we didn't really clear out any news. I'm gonna consider it a choppy week. I'm gonna just consider it a CHOPPY choppy week, and not gonna try to force anything. I'm already up about 1,700 on the week. Um, but those are the things that I'm looking for going in the next week. This isn't a setup for today. This isn't about what you're gonna find today trading. This is going to take care of next week along with the earnings for NVDA. So your boy Cage tapping in. Just want to give you some of the levels in which I was looking for. I'm bullish on all of this, but I do have to let the market play out, especially on NVIDIA. I do want us to see us come down, get that pullback. A lot of these pullbacks and these gap fills, they're honestly within the 50 to 68.6 that golden point retracement area. So that they're within that Fibonacci 50 to 60 68 point Fibonacci retracement here, which is why I like those key levels. And the market is kind of setting itself up for me. You don't have to go in here and draw a whole bunch of things. Just pay attention to what it's doing. It went up, up, up. It's having a pullback, pullback, pullback. Doesn't mean it's selling off. It's having a pullback. Where is the next level it could pull back and bounce to? 585.37. Simple as that. I'm not forcing anything. I'm not gonna set a buy order here and hope that it takes me in. No. I want to be actively watching the chart and being in the market when it's making these type of moves, so that I can go in with an order and get in and get out and get my profits. That's all it's about. Making the day easy, making trading easier. The more you stress yourself out, the more money you lose. I promise that's exactly how it goes. The less stressed you are, and the less you don't give a fuck, the more money you make. It's your boy Cage tapping in, checking out. Have a good Friday. Peace.